Hello, welcome to Iron Chair 61. So now I'll be playing the Hearts of Iron 4. So I'll resume my campaign. It's Operation Pike. By the way, I need to turn off the stupid notification. Okay, come. Okay, let me do something first. Let me see. Use space. Okay. Okay, come. By the way, it's annoying. Yesterday, my OBS recording almost couldn't for the previous episode almost couldn't complete because just the OBS got some issue. I couldn't. I almost like the file was almost corrupted, but luckily I managed to salvage the file. If not, no episode. If not, no episode for yesterday one. Never mind. Now I just continue. So we have to prepare for war for USSR, and it's going to be super tough because I play this on my own. It's super hard to push. You need to have the right build, and you need to have a right build like army template and stuff. So now, because you see our fighters, we have 1,600 fighter, and so most of our fighters is the BF 109. Then we have a few Fokker Wolf 190. So this is the 1940 upgrade. Let me lower the volume first. I couldn't hear on my microphone. So this is the lower. So most of our fighters is the 1936 model. So if you see the Fokker Wolf FW 190, so most of it is the 1936 model, but only a few is the 1940. I mean, a few is the 1940 model. But if you look at the Soviet side, where they're plain. Okay, we can't see. That's our intelligence. Okay, I just stepped to the Soviet side. You look at how many fighters they have. 2,100 fighters, and most of them are the the 1940 model. Okay. See, most of their fighters is the stupid, so they can gain air superiority over us easily. Not only they have more fighters than us, but their fighters are all modern. So most of their fighters is the La 3A model. By the way, this picture is wrong one. Most of their fighters is the 1940s model. Most of their fighters is the 1940 model, and it's upgraded as well. So it's upgraded. Okay, it's not fully upgraded. I was worried that they have like max engine, which is going to be scary. Yeah, but basically they have more. Their fighter force is not only larger than us, but they also have more modern fighter plane than us. So this is very different from the historical side, because if I'm not wrong, in the historical side, the Operation Barbarossa fighters, not Bagration, Barbarossa. You know, Operation Barbarossa, the German has 2,000 to 5,000 aircraft, while the Soviet has twice the number. So yes, the Soviet outnumbered the Germans, but most of these aircrafts are basically the obsolete model, whereas the German has a lot of modern fighter plane like the Bf-109. So I believe there's a difference between, like in the game we have the Soviet has more advanced fighter model than us, but in real life the Soviet, most of their air force are I believe are obsolete models. So let me see the airplane. Yeah, if you look at the air war, the Luftwaffe was able to achieve air supremacy over the battlefield of all army groups, because most of their fighters are like outdated, as I'm referring to the Soviet side. No, the strength of the Luftwaffe. So if the war starts, it's not going to like, it's going to be difficult for us because the Soviet can gain air superiority over us. What are their models? Let me check in real life. Okay, plane. So the view of Soviet fighter, mainly the I-16, was positive, but the rest of the... Okay, this is the aerial warfare during Operation Barbarossa, so the rest of the VVS aircraft were deemed obsolete. So most of the Soviet fighters were basically outdated models. Yeah. So in the game, we are dealing with more advanced Soviet Air Force. So that's the problem. I think one of the reasons is because this is on veteran difficulty, then also I also buff the Soviet. So if you buff the Soviet, okay, I go back to the main menu. So single player, new game. So if you play as Germany, then if you buff on veteran, okay, the AI will have like their air fuel consumption will be negative 25%. So they consume less fuel. So if you also, because I also buff the Soviet, so if you buff the Soviet as well, their research speed will be higher, and also the air experience gain will be faster, so they can upgrade their aircraft model much faster. That's why they can get like a lot of they can get the 1940s model out early, and that's why by this time you'll see them viewing a lot of like modern fighter planes, which was a bit ahistorical because like during the Operation Barbarossa, Soviet Union did not have a very advanced fighter plane, advanced air force. They only start to like improve their air force capabilities to the standard of the Luftwaffe in 1943, because in 1942 and 1941 they were trying to survive and recover their air force. So they started to like get the newer model out, like the La 3A or the La 3 and the Yak 4 or Yak 5, I can't remember. So you can see in the game, because we buff the Soviet out, their research speed is faster, and also air experience gain also faster. That means they can upgrade their plane faster. Then they also have less resource penalty and stuff. Okay, never mind. So there's a chance we are going to start the war with outnumbered like air force, and this actually happened when I play in my own time. Basically, it's very hard to gain air superiority like in the historical time. Yeah, so most of our fighters are still the Bf-109. So if you look, okay, but one inspiration I can draw from when it comes to like how I deal with the Soviet Air Force is probably the one inspiration I can do is we can try to win them in an attritional warfare. So one battle we can think of is like the 1943 Cuban Air War. I think it's something I want to read. Yeah, I might want to buy this book to read, the Black Horse Red Star Air War over the Eastern Front. So this was during the Cuban the Red Eagles Air War over the Cuban Peninsula 1943. So this was a very massive air war. Basically, both sides, the Red Air Force and Luftwaffe, they have some sort of air parity. So neither side have the air superiority. It's basically what I call it air parity, means they are in a stalemate. They're fighting over like they are fighting over like the airspace. Fighting in the airspace over the Cuban bridgehead. So I might buy this book too, it's interesting. So Cuban Air War. Where's the... It's very interesting because if you read, so I might try to apply the same thing. Like maybe we will try to win them in an attritional warfare. Cuban air battle. So there's an air combat over the Cuban. So you have the BF 109 G4 challenging the Soviet side, the Bell P-39 N2 Air Cobra. This one was donated by the US through the Lend-Lease. So it was a massive battle. So from mid-April and one of the largest air battle in the Soviet Second World War over a small piece of land called the Cuban bridgehead in the northwestern Caucasia. So here the Germans managed to maintain a bridgehead which tied down large Soviet forces that otherwise should have been deployed in the Red Army Ukraine offensive. So the Cuban bridgehead was around here. So after the Germans retreat from the Caucasia, they the Army Group A, I think it's Army Group A, they withdraw through Rostov as well as over this like Taman Peninsula. So this is the Kerch over the Taman Peninsula here. Then after they withdraw, they retain a small beachhead here. So they hope to renew the offensive against the oil fields around here. So there was a massive air war over the Cuban Peninsula because the Soviets were trying to eliminate this beachhead. So the first step to eliminate the beachhead is to gain air superiority. So during this air war battles, thousands of aircrafts was to be committed and large air combats were fought mainly between the fighters of both sides. So the VVS claimed 1,100 fighters, then German claimed like 1,000. So you look the statistic. So basically, in reality, the German had a 10:1 kill ratio. The Luftwaffe still has the advantage. But the end result is that the Red Army won the Cuban battle and the Luftwaffe have to withdraw from the airspace. So eventually this air combat, even though the Germans were tactically superior, but strategically and operationally speaking, the Red Air Force actually won. But the Germans did shot down a lot of fighters. They have a 10:1 kill ratio. So even though the Luftwaffe was outnumbered, they still managed to win. So we can probably apply the same principle here as to how we can beat the Red Army, hope to beat the Red Army. Because when the war starts with the Soviet Union, we are expected to face a lot of fighters, a large air force from the Red Force. So we try to like grind them down in an attritional warfare and slowly destroy as many fighters as possible at a rate that the Soviet Union couldn't replace them. So even their factories couldn't replace the every plane's loss. So if we shoot down 10 fighters and the Red Army could only replenish with 5 more fighters produced, then it's a win for us. Plus all the new fighters that come in, they will have less experience than our ace pilots we have on the field. So this will hopefully help us win the war. So the Cuban Peninsula, so this is interesting. The Cuban air offensive. So the Germans hope to offset the Soviet superiority on the ground by its own superiority in the air, which at this time was considerable on this sector of the Eastern Front. So there was this. So in total, the resulting campaign involved more than 2,000 aircraft on both sides. Insane. Look at the number they put out. So it's the same that could happen as we have a total of 1,600 fighters. The German, we have a total of 1,600 fighters. The Soviet has a total of 2,100 fighters. So we can just throw our fighters in one, like maybe in order to gain air superiority in Eastern Poland, I can throw my entire air force into Eastern Poland. They also can throw their entire air force into Eastern Poland. And we just slug it out and hope to eventually win over each other. So each day weather permit, fierce air combats last continuously for many days. Each side steadily committed more aircraft, and on some days there were as many as 50 battles involving between 50 and 100 aircraft on each side. So in overall terms, the air campaign gave the Soviet air supremacy over the Cuban. So it's interesting. So I think during the Cuban Air War, you'll see during the Cuban Air War, you'll see a lot of like aircrafts falling from the sky because of because of the scale of the battle. Basically, both sides just throwing all their entire air force, throwing all whatever place they have to win. So you see like planes falling from the side. I believe there's a photo to show. Is that photo? Yeah, correct. The Cuban Air War. You see like planes falling from the sky. So we will hope to emulate this scenario in our Hoi 4 campaign. So the Cuban Air War between the Wehrmacht. So it broke the backbone of the Nazi Luftwaffe, become the turning point. You see airplane falling down. An epic battle about which we did not hear much in Western media. Yeah, just give you a like. Okay, good. Never mind. So now let's see what we can do. So you can invite Spain, which is good. They like us. So we have. Oh, they actually refuse to join. That's interesting. We need to trade more tungstens. Okay, now you see, once we conquer Norway, our trade influence is Sweden should have improved, and they are willing to send more tungsten to us. Is that change different? Trade influence. Oh, because more troops on shared border. That's why they are willing to like send us more like tungsten. Because previously when we didn't conquer Norway, we couldn't get as many tungsten as we want because of this long border. Because we didn't have a shared border, but now we have a shared border, so yeah, we can get a lot more tungsten. We can't get our tungsten from Portugal because of the Royal Navy around here. So tungsten is important because once war start, I will lose a lot of anti-tank. I'll lose a lot of anti-tank equipment, and I need to be able to manufacture them. So tungsten is needed for anti-tank, artillery, as well as our medium tank as well. Okay, now what to do now? Okay. We can build more rubber or build our air defense right here. We can build some radar. So it might help us win the air war. So build our air infrastructure around here. And build our air. Okay, good. So to prepare for the war. So we're shooting down like their fighter, which is good. There's nothing much we can do. Okay, now we mass produce our stupid air force. Air production. Whatever, I don't care. Okay, we send their submarine. Okay, come. Low trade influence. They dislike us. If we improve relationships that way. Okay, we have to build less anti-tank weapon. No, we can't. We get one more fighter. Okay, 3 robbers should be enough. Okay, we can build naval bomber. Upgrade on naval bomber. Uh, yeah, we have a lot of anti-air. We need a lot of anti-air. Because if the Soviet Air Force gain air superiority over us, we need the anti-air force to deal with their. Oh, thank you very much. We need the Soviet Air Force to. Yes, we need a lot of anti-air to deal with the Soviet Air Force. Just make more Carabiner 98. Just based on historical. Because the Car 98K was mass produced till the end of the war. So just produce as many as you can. In this war, we lost 103 men. So Poland actually gave us caused us more damage. Alright. Awesome. Irving Rommel. Guderium. I give you entrenchment bonus. So now they try to bomb the Alpine region. So So we lost one fighter. Small damage. Okay, what should I do? Currently, our troops are deployed in a defensive manner. I cannot deploy in an offensive manner because if I put too many troops on the border, they will take out a lot of supplies, and that's a huge problem. Plus, even if I have a lot of troops on the front line, I still my forces at the front line is still considered to be weaker than the enemy. So the Soviet will still attack us first, even if we have all our troops at the front line. So for now, we just we put them in a very defensive manner. We try to play defensively for now, until we have the forces and the infrastructure to turn this into a massive offensive force. But for now, I expect the Soviets to attack us first. I reached Vermine's time. Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. Hey, come over here. Alpine region. So continue our submarine warfare. We can also attack. Is there airplane? No. But it's very dangerous to attack this sea region, because if they start to build airbase here and they deploy naval bombers, a lot of our submarine can be lost. So we play like safe for now. Where can we go? Where can our submarine force go? We need submarine with the range that can go further here. Iberian coast. No, it's too dangerous. Let us keep sinking their convoys. Okay, now let's see. Bigger bomber strap. Yeah, why not? And 9 fighters. So let's resume our air offensive. We'll try to attack their aircraft again. So let's resume our offensive. Come over here. Nice. So we try to attack them when they have less fighters defending the airspace. Why is the color so weird? Why the color so weird? Oh, Britain. Let's see the menu. Try again. First, by right, they should show a green color zone. Look. Okay. It's annoying as hell. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. We try to shoot down as many planes as we can. At the same time, we can gain air experience, which is important. We need to have a highly experienced air force, especially when we are dealing with the Soviets. I think possesses air superiority. In fact, this might be a chance for us to invade UK. But I need to do a few things right. This is the window of opportunity for us to invade UK. So we need to do a few things right, like I say. First army, I'll assign you to Western Front. Come over here. So there's a lot of enemy ships around here. Allow. Okay, Baltic Sea security. There's 100 fighter over the English Channel, so we might want to have one advanced air wing of Focke-Wulf. Maybe I want you to be my elite model, elite air wing. So my elite air wing has like mainly Focke-Wulf 190. And another one, maybe three air wing. I want to gain air superiority over the English Channel. Then my naval bomber. Excuse me. How many naval bomber do I have? Wonder. So this naval bomber, I want to start to sink any like ships in the English Channel. Interrogation technique. Let's keep upgrading. We need to have a very good spy. It seems like we have 51.5%. Okay, their main fighter force has arrived. So y'all have to retreat. I need to gain air superiority over the English Channel. Stop. So 900 fighter. Try to kill as many fighters as we can. A floating harbor. How do I use this? I don't know. I don't bother to learn. So we can get more. We'll kill as many fighters as we can before we lose air superiority. Okay, I'll stop. Cause as many damage as you can before their air forces come. We need a western force here. Okay, this is the army of Norway and this is the army of the Western Front army. We need more divisions to deal with the Soviets. We need Panzer tanks as well. Go for anti-air capability. I see the fighter force. Very large fighter force. Or a relatively small one. Okay, let's build more factory. Rubber refinery. So we can meet more planes. Meet more fighter. Yeah. You're in charge of Western Front. So this will be my reserve army for the Eastern Front. Send to Port Said. So this is in charge of the defense. This Erwin Rommel is in charge of the final defense of Berlin. The final defense of Berlin. That's entrenchment speed. Okay. Come on. The supply situation how? This one now is the supply is not very good. We may want to. This one is very good. Now can still support more divisions. Why is the supply here is bad? Why is it overload? Supply hub. Level 4. I don't understand how the supply system works. It's not easy to understand. Is it because the infrastructure here is poor? By the way, something important. You see our train. We needed 222 trains, but our stockpile is only 382. So we need to manufacture more trains. So since we have a lot of steel, we have enough infantry equipment. We can put more factories into civilian train. In fact, we can get a lot more. Because we have enough. I say our infantry equipment seems alright for time being. So we don't need so many factories for infantry equipment. We can probably make more trains. I don't understand how this thing works. Okay, what should I do? Supply high in Lubin. Supply bottleneck. One easy solution I can think of is to link up the railway from this supply hub to this supply hub. If I build a supply hub, it'll take a very long time. But if I build the railway, it should cost less time. So I link this supply hub to this supply hub by building another railway. So this can hopefully relieve the burden of this one. So let's build. So hopefully this will allow us to deploy more troops in the south. When will it take to finish? 23 August. So it's quite fast actually. Hopefully this will allow us to deploy more forces. You can also build another railway from here to here. So I think it can help to relieve the supply situation here. Hey, we might want to consider to go on offensive. Now we have this ship. We need invading force. But we only have how many battleship? 2 battle cruiser. Hey. Oh no. Battleship cruiser. So 1 battle cruiser. So it merged with battleship task force. Okay, then oh. I worry of naval bomber around here. It's annoying as hell. So they are repairing steel. Can you come over here? Venue theater called the English Channel. So this one is to sort of more or less prepare for the English Channel operation. So I will need a little bit of luck. So once I gain temporarily air superiority over Southern Ireland and English Channel, then as well as the naval superiority, just a temporarily, then I can maybe do invasion. I don't know whether that works. Okay, now we need 6 more. 6 more cruiser. 1, 2, 3. So we need to we need 2 is to 1 is to 3. Basically it's the ratio for capital ships to streaming ships. So 1 is to 3. So we give this general in charge. I give you a chance to prove yourself. So now what should we do? Where to invest Port Smile? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just try a bit of a luck. See whether it's possible. Because now they have overwhelming naval superiority. So and now we are shooting down their plane. Good. If we have another 464 fighter, good. So it slowly increase our fighter force. 1, 2, 3. I want to add to this fighter win. So we have 1,200 fighters. 1,900 fighters. Let's see the Soviet side, how many fighters they have. We can't see. No information. We can't build more fighters because we have a rubber shortage. Can add more division to the coastal of Greater Norway. Okay, now let me stop for. See you next episode.